Okay, so so in today's vlog, I wanted to talk about a concept, or I wanted to talk about a mindset that I think a lot of you guys could really benefit from, right? Um, as a guy who is just like feeling out of it, as a guy who does struggle with, feeling sad, feeling lost, feeling dispassionate about my life. Um, I've currently been taking steps to try and change my life. But one of the things, or one of the concepts that I've realized is that in order to change your life, you need to do the work. Okay, and I'm not just talking about doing basic work, like, oh, I gotta show up to my job, oh, I gotta make these sales calls, or I gotta jump on these client calls. What I'm talking about is um, work, like like a second job outside of like your normal job, right? um, like you need to put in more work, like as in you have a second job, right? So what tends to happen is that most people who feel stuck in life, the reason why is because they have a normal 9 to 5 clock in clock out job that they don't like, but that takes up the majority of your time, right? It takes up about 8 hours, 9 hours of your time, and then once that job is done, you tend to feel a bit tired. You tend to feel a bit groggy, and you don't feel like doing anything anymore, right? And that's kind of the trap that a lot of people have fallen into, right? It's like, I want to change my life, but work takes up so, like, I have to work for so long just to survive, and then I feel tired. It's like, what am I going to do? Um, and this is when I realized, when in order to change your life, um, you need to be willing to do more work outside of the normal work that you do to survive. So you have your first job, you clock in, clock out, and then as soon as your first job's done, you gotta clock in to your second job, which is you trying to leave your first job, right? Um, so it breeds this mindset of don't be afraid to work, right? It's like a lot of people, it's Sunday right now as I'm recording this video, and on Sunday, I know how a lot of people feel, right? It's like, oh, it's Sunday, I got work tomorrow, I feel nervous, I feel anxiety, oh, I got this client call tomorrow on Monday, and it's like, just thinking about it gives you anxiety. Like, it's Sunday, you can't even enjoy your Sunday because you got work tomorrow, right? That's how a lot of people feel, right? It's just, right? It's like, like even your coworkers, like when you go back to your job, your coworkers make these jokes like, "Oh, it's Monday, happy Monday," or like, "Oh, it's the Mondays again," right? It's almost like it's like kind of like like Monday is associated to like a depressed mood or something, and then on Friday it's like, "Oh, it's Friday, hooray!" Right? Like you don't want to live your life that way forever, right? You don't want to live for the Fridays and you dread for the Mondays. And the only way to overcome that cycle is you need to make sacrifices. And making sacrifices means you got to do more work, right? Like don't be afraid to do the work. Work is normal. Work is not the exception. Work is the standard. It is like the default standard, right? Um, Humans have to work, and I'm not saying humans have to work forever, right? Because there are strategies with passive income, and you don't have to work for the rest of your life, especially if you save money. But if you want to change your life, if you want to change your life to where you can just do whatever you want to do, you have the freedom to to like to do this hobby, or to move to this place, or to hang out with whoever you want, right? If you want that type of freedom, um, you're not going to get that freedom by just doing the bare minimum, right? Like just doing the bare minimum work at your clock in clock out job, it's enough to survive, but it's not enough to change your life, right? In order to change your life, you have to do more work. You have to sacrifice more of your personal time. You know, I know you're tired after work. I know you kind of just want to chill, relax, do nothing, watch TV shows or something, but that's not going to cut it if you really want to leave your corporate job, your your 9 to 5 job. If you really want to leave that at like a fairly young age, and then have the financial independence to like just do whatever you want. Um, that in order to achieve that, that takes sacrifice, right? Excluding all of the people who get lucky, right? Like, like some people really do just get lucky online, but for most people, it requires taking that second job. You're going to need to have a second job outside of your first job. Your second job is when you clock in, right? Like you do the work so you work the second job so you don't have to, so you can leave the first job. Um, don't be afraid to do the work. Don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid to work outside of your first job. Your first job takes 8 hours. Um, don't be afraid to put in an extra 2 hours, an extra 3 hours, an extra 4 hours, right? Don't be afraid to work the weekends. Take a side hustle, right? Um, Save money, obviously. You can't achieve you can't achieve financial independence unless you save money. So you do need to save money. Of course, I'm not denying that in any way, but um, the core mindset is you do the work. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of work. Work is normal. Work is the default. All you know, society wouldn't even run if humans didn't work, right? Like I mean, that's how societies um, stay stable and running, right? Because people work every day. So so work is the default. Don't be afraid to put in the hard work. I know it's suffering. I know you feel the anxiety. I know it feels like there's no progress being made. But I mean, it's like the gym, right? It's like your biceps don't grow an inch every time you do curls, right? Um, for most people, you got to go to the gym many times, like at least for 10 years, like before you see some actual results, right? So so it's the same with changing your life and achieving financial independence, or or even just getting a more satisfying job. It takes work. You got to take risks. Don't be afraid to put in the work. Don't be afraid to try. Okay. I know there's anxiety every time you try something new in life, um, and that anxiety lives inside of you. Like I feel it all the time. I know other people feel it, um, but you just gotta keep pushing on. Don't don't let the negative emotions stop you. Do the work. Keep pushing. Keep trying. Keep taking risks. Work 10 hours, 12 hours a day if you have to. Don't stop grinding because time moves on no matter what you do. But 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 if you keep taking relentless action, work, um, get used to it. Uh, you are doing yourself you're doing yourself a favor, and the future you is gonna be very thankful that you put in all those hours. Like I stayed like from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm working, and your future self will thank you. So just keep that in mind. The concept of don't be afraid to work. Don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid to put in those extra hours. Don't, don't be afraid of being tired. Um, do it while anxious, right? Just keep working. Um, the more work you do, the more reward you're going to get in the future. So, yeah, hope it helps.